G'day, I'm Ben from Catch Pro Australia, and this is Lawn Care Skull Sessions with my co-host, the Bearded Lawnsman.
What's up, Benny?
We're back.
We're back. Had a fucking week off.
We were absent.
My mum didn't write me a note.
Hopefully you missed us a lot, you fuckers.
Yeah, fuck, it's been busy, Ben. I thought no rain, no growth. I thought I'd be fucking sitting pretty, podcasting every day, you know? Fucking not to be.
Yeah, but who gives a fuck? Like, we can do what we want, right?
Yeah, fucking oath.
So
We were unprofessional as fuck.
our attitude right now is really going to conflict with the upcoming episode that we have for you. So don't let our podcast attitudes deter you.
Yeah, sozzies.
So anyways, Beach,
Yeah, man.
it seems you got a little bit of the renovating bug.
Oh, I do. Fucking paint. I had one of our pals, Gary, come around. He's from the LMC.
Aussie Lawn Stars?
Different guys.
Okay.
From Australian Lawn Fanatics. I've met him through a group that I'm in. And he fucking taught me how to cut in properly and how to do a few things with the painting side of it, because I've never painted before. Never in my life did I think I'd be fucking painting my own walls. So
Legally, right?
yeah, legally. Fucking away I go, sanding and painting, making a fucking mess everywhere, and it's turned out really well. We finally picked a wall colour. We've had 9 different colours up on the wall for like a week and a half, 2 weeks, just looking at them every day, just like, and guess whose fucking colour came up trumps? This fat fuck's right here. Yeah. Fucking yeah.
Well, unfortunately, when it comes to colours on the household, Benny Hoover has no say. It's all about the Schwinkter cat.
Yeah, fair enough.
So, but she's got good taste, so especially when I drink pineapple juice.
Shit, son.
See, we're just in a rowdy mood today.
Fucking. Yeah, fuck
I'm half dead. Anyway,
What fun adventures have you been on, Ben?
Well, as people know, I have also had the brush bug.
Mm-hmm.
So don't critique my stuff too much. I always start off really structured and disciplined. And you just get to a point, like, I don't know if anyone else has experienced this, but like, man, I just had a tray and a roller.
Yeah.
Right? Fucking rolling away. And I just like put the roller, like just at some point, maybe an hour into it. And I'm rolling and all of a sudden I'm getting bukkakied. And I'm like, what the fuck is going? And literally paint flicks are just going everywhere. And like this particular roller, the paint would like clag up in the corner.
Yeah.
And then it gets a little bit hard. And then it fouls out on the roller.
Oh.
So it acts like a little bukkake spray.
Little tongue.
Yeah. So, but I don't know how this happened, Beej. But like, obviously, so I ended up with like paint all over me, right? And I fucking went to jump in the shower, dacked myself, and I don't typically look at myself when I duck myself.
Yeah.
But somehow I must have spotted it. I had paint on my scrotum.
Oh, really?
How does that happen?
Jeez.
Of
What colour?
White.
Oh, trying to make those white balls whiter.
So I've yelled out to Vic, and I said, like, come here.
Did you get the paint scraper?
The tongue.
The sander.
No,
Did you get the cat?
I've yelled out to Vic,
The
and
sandbagger tongue?
I'm like, hey, you can only know that one way. And I'm like, how? And she's like, I don't know how.
Fuck.
And I can only imagine that I've had an itch at some point.
Oh. And you've gone fucking inside the pants.
Yeah.
Wow.
Up
the leg.
I don't know how else.
Were you free balling?
You know what's something else, right? People will see on my Instagram, I went out and hit some horse paddocks. And I took the V ride. And because like I don't typically use the V ride much these days. I was like, old memories.
Yeah.
And I got fucking paint all over the V ride. And it's nowhere near where I was painting. I got white paint all over the pad. So there's my little stories.
I didn't have any paint on my scrotum, but I did
I did have it in my foreskin.
Yeah. I had a designated paint shirt, and I was like, kids, look at me. And I fucking put like a dot of paint on each nipple and a nose and a big smile. And then I fucking had to go to Bunnings and I forgot to take that shirt off. So I had this fucking titty fucking smile face shirt, home brand fucking thing on. And yeah, they didn't tell me till I got back in the car.
Yeah, no, I know all about that designated paint clothes. Anyway, the painting looks a treat that I did. I still have some more to do.
Yeah, it looks good.
And I ended up hooking in with Shorey's Dingo and finishing off all my fill. 70 cube in total.
Whew, shit.
Which was fine. To be honest, I punched it out so quick. That actually leads me to really thinking about product ideas. I know Skag has the Jackal coming out.
Yeah, there's some new info has just popped up last night, actually.
Not really sure if that one, is it coming here, the Jackal?
I'd say they would bring it in.
Okay.
Yeah, down the truck.
Because Gravely has, I think they call it the Axis, but I don't think it's here.
Yeah, okay.
And like I did a post, asking landscapers how they feel. And obviously I couldn't include the Jackal because it was, 2 weeks ago when I did it. It was still inside of shit, right? And it's amazing to me, like the skepticism, people like, but the Gravely, for example, is a rebranded top current brand, has been for like 40 years.
Yeah, nice.
So it's fine. I just let it slide. I just let everyone else deal with it.
So I don't know if I told anyone on air, but I got a message from the brand ambassador for Skag from the US, and he sent me a message after I did that big post. I did it on LMCA and I did it on my Instagram. And he's like,
"You did air it here."
Oh, did I? Oh no, and we did the podcast.
Yeah.
Anyway, he sends me a message saying, "Hey there." Just letting you know, I don't think those photos were supposed to be released. I was like, well, that's why I fucking triple check everything in writing. So turns out everything's all good.
It's all out now
They've
anyway.
started releasing it anyway. But
exciting
you
stuff.
You fucking heard it here first.
Over in the US, there's a couple of different brands. One of the notable brands is Mega Attachments. And they've got this bully bucket for stand-ons. And, like the whole time I had the V-Ride sitting in the shed and, Shorey was kind of fucking me around a little bit with the Dingo. I just can't help but think how great it would be for our industry. And I reached out to Mega Attachments and they're more than willing to do business, but they only have it for the grandstand.
Oh, okay. Well, that's unfortunate.
And so... but I mean, hey, let us know your feedback. Like, I just think, so they have like, mulch mate, mulch cart, and stuff like all of those things are well and good, but you have to still shovel that shit.
Yeah.
And then really you sort of, you have to tip it.
Yeah.
Whereas if you it's not a 4-in-1 bucket, it's just a 2-in-1 bucket.
Yeah.
Man, if you could, and it holds 70 kilos.
Really?
So
couldn't even fucking lift me.
No, but you know what I mean? Like you can still pick up gravel and stuff with it.
Yeah.
But the fact that it only goes on one mower is, it's over for me. But
what about the little one that's the bucket attachment that I've seen rolling around on a Ryobi?
Yeah, so that's another dude who he's trying to find he's trying to find licensing. He's been around for years.
I saw it a few years ago and then it just started popping up again. Maybe he's got a backer or something and he's starting to
I think production. It's probably more a result of the GIE.
Oh, okay.
Because he goes there. And he's a great guy too. Like I followed him, he follows me, and I give him props on that product.
It's cool, man. I've seen it fucking loaded up with stones. Like it's literally, it's a legit product. The only thing that worries me is fucking the weight for someone like you. For me, I've got that kind of anchored. But for you might do a fucking front flip.
Yeah, I mean, obviously a Dingo or a Kanga is a different center of weight compared to a stand-on.
Yeah.
But there is ways to counter it, and the center of weight is so central that I really think that you'd be okay anyway.
Yeah.
So
I could have fucking used one
because the wheelbase, like you got your front casters and you got your rear. that's, like it's going to take a lot to lift the ass
Yeah,
of a
that's true.
stander.
And you're really low to the ground anyway. It's not like you're going to go too far. But
So anyway, I just thought that was really cool and something that, I don't think it's going to be a household
yeah,
idea or whatever, but
it's a bit of a niche.
how
It's a
cool
good-
how cool would that be for guys that are doing big mulch jobs or soil jobs?
Hey, fuck me. So that's part of the reason why we were cooked last week. I had a bunch of shit on. Benny had a bunch of shit on as well.
Tell the real story.
Oh,
I took Friday off to go to the island.
yeah. And then you didn't go to the island. You went to Coolangatta, didn't you?
I actually went to Caloundra.
Caloundra, one of the fucking seas.
Yeah, bloody, me mate was giving me a free surfboard. Here you
No
go.
way.
Everyone online. Oh, just I'm cooking this.
Oh, g'day. There's fucking sand just rolling off that. Yeah.
Yeah,
but
I don't have a mainland board.
Oh.
I've only got an island board.
Oh, okay. So
I
it just
keep it
stays
the
over
island.
there in the van.
Yeah, otherwise, you're carrying a kid, you're fucking carrying a surfboard.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, so I did my biggest landscaping job that I've ever done. So that was pretty cool. 40 cubes of mulch, 40 cubes of soil, and fucking like 150 plants. And then at one of my other villages, I did another 145 plants. It's been fucking on like Donkey Kong.
Do you want to swing your penis around and tell everyone how much profit you made?
No, we'll keep that under wraps. But I had fucking Uncle Leroy came in.
Yep.
And swung his fucking hammer around.
Boy, oh boy.
Ooh. Nah, he's fucking awesome. I love
He's
working
tied
with
up now. He's got a missus, doesn't he?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Lucky duck.
Sorry, girls.
Sorry. But no, he's fucking awesome to work with, and I've hopefully I plan to work with him some more. I'll try and take on a little bit extra here and there and get him on a few days a week. So no, that's cool, man. But no, fucking the best investment I made was getting a Bobcat driver in. And fortunately I got a fucking cracker of an operator. And we were able to shave like a whole day off the job. And then the other thing I got was a fucking power planter. And that for the second village just with the planting. Oh, so good.
Is that just for tube stock? Or?
Yeah. Basically
Okay.
just for tube stock. You can probably put it on something bigger, but I just had
You
my
get
old...
bigger fuckers, eh?
Yeah, you can get pretty decent sized ones. I think it all depends on your soil, but I was basically digging into concrete.
Yeah, okay.
So yeah, I fucking punched in like 140 something plants in maybe 12 hours, maybe all up, and watered them and fucking
Yep.
yeah. So Rusty helped me with that, but fuck man, it was just my hands. I could barely wrap them around my penis. They're so sore. And then I was coming home, and because I had the bug,
You
I was
weren't
like
using
painting.
like the thumb and pointer grip, were you?
No, that's all I had left. I couldn't barely bring them together. But I've cut myself on because I had the people were living at our place before us. They fucking cut into the architrave around the windows to put these fucking $30 blinds up. I don't know why. And then I had to come in, take all the architrave. I've never done it before in my life. Fucking did a superb job.
Did you have to take the arcs off?
Took all the architrave off, cut it all, and fucking put it all back up. Yeah. I'm just doing things that I never thought I could.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
That
makes me
is
feel
nice.
like
a man.
Yeah. Like I didn't need to justify myself by puffing my chest out. But no, it was good. It's a good feeling achieving something.
Well done.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Round of applause. Yay.
But just quickly before we get into the episode,
Okay.
I laid 250 squares of turf, right? Now, I used to do this for a living.
Yeah.
And fuck me, after 100 squares, I had to get the Schwinkter cat to tag in. And we did
You've
it
had to do
together.
that before. I remember with that fucking sapphire gold shit that you had at the old place.
Well, she actually laid all of that, but I was actually proper injured then.
Oh, that's right. You just bought a fuckload of turf and you were...
Yeah. But anyways, I was at me Cairo, and he tells me back in 1986, which is when I was born, right? His mate won the contract to turf the entire Brisbane airport.
Christ.
And he said like him and like 20 dudes just turf for like a week. Like this is,
Fuck
I don't know
that.
how much turf. Like he just reckons semi-trailers were rocking up with pallets. And he reckons that the guys that won the contract, they would rock up in their, four-wheel drives and they'd measure the under turf. And it had to be 2 inches back then.
Yeah.
Like that's what the job, And the whole first day was too low and they made them roll it all up and do it again.
You're kidding.
And he's telling me and I'm like, oh, I don't want to talk about my 250 squares anymore.
Oh, fuck that. That's
so-
horrible.
Yeah. Anyway, I reckon
Yeah, let's jump into the episode, man.
because we do have a little bit to unpack today.
Yeah.
We are going to be talking about 10 ways to help your business succeed. Now, we're sort of trying to be a little careful here. We don't really want to dictate to anyone out there that like you have to do these fucking things to be successful.
These are just things that have worked for us in our situation.
But I still do truly believe that if you look at this list and you apply these things, it's going to give you a better chance.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that, if you disagree with something that you don't have a successful business.
I agree.
But, I think sometimes, and we've glossed over a lot of these topics.
Yeah.
Right, Beach?
Like I think basically we've mentioned everything, but it's all, we'll go a little bit deeper into some of them. I can tell looking at my notes, I can tell that I've got fucking crooked fingers from painting because my fucking handwriting has just got some sort of man-made virus. It's fucked.
It's got beaches and mate.
Yeah, it's got beaches and fingers all over it.
So, I don't know, man. Do you want to set it off? Do you want to...
Yeah, look, one of the first things that...
Actually, before we do that, I probably want to say what I was, started to say before. We've obviously glossed over these things.
Yeah.
And I just think from time to time, like a lot of these things are very simple. And you probably think, Ben and BJ, we know this. But I think sometimes just when you're in the rough of everything, or if you're brainstorming, or if you are thinking of ways to improve or get bigger or even just get it more efficient, a lot of the times I think we take these key points for granted and you don't look deeper into the surrounding around it.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to pull one off the top of my head. I'm freestyling here. We have here a topic to be equipped, right? It's nothing better than being equipped.
That's it.
And I think some people look at that and it's just an afterthought. But truly being equipped might be like, obviously we know the basics: lawnmower,
Yeah.
whip snipper, blower, hedger, at the very basic,
And your
right?
consumables.
But, to truly be equipped, like secateurs, little pruning saws, a dustpan and brush,
Oh, fuck yeah.
just like one of those bins.
The black bin from Bunnings. It's
Yeah,
like $12 or something.
like,
I got fucking 9 of them.
yeah, no, but you know what I mean? Like look, there was a point at my last house where like we had a bin on every rig.
Yep.
And then I had a bin in my front yard in the corner. I had one in my backyard. Like just and they were all ways to make just gardening at home easier.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I think some of these topics, even though they're so simple, there's just a lot of other things attached to them.
Yeah, I think I didn't even have Be Equipped down here, so that's a new one anyway.
Yeah, well, it goes to show how fucking useless we are.
Well, I got like fucking 38 other points, but no, Be Equipped, like that's probably the first thing you would fucking tick off the box. Like if you're going to enter into the industry, I think being equipped and knowing what you need, this is one of my points on here. It's 2023. You can fucking find out pretty much anything that you need to know about starting your business before you start your business. Like, don't be afraid to fucking Google. Like, no one's checking your Google history unless you're some weirdo. So definitely use the interwebs to your advantage. Use all the groups, everything like that. If you're starting out, listen to podcasts. Fucking, maybe don't listen to American podcasts because they're very different to Australian. I just feel like,
And I also want to emphasize that we're not trying to make people be over equipped.
yeah,
Like I think when I'm talking about being equipped, I'm talking about just being able to do your everyday tasks.
yeah.
So, I'm not saying like, if you have a whippersnipper, you got to have a whipper-gripper or anything like that. It's more, this is much more a basic talk of your basic fundamentals to give your chance to give your business the best chance to be successful.
Now, I'm not going to lie. When I first started my business, and I've never mentioned this to anyone before, one of the biggest fuck ups of my business when I first started, the very first day I went out. Oh, actually, no, it would have been the second day because I didn't have that many lawns. So I went out and I had to reload my spool. I didn't have a fucking thing to cut the line with. I didn't have seckies. I didn't have, how I cut it on the fucking edge of a gutter, and I just was like, and I fucking sawed through it. And that's how I cut my line at the next fucking 10 minutes of my life after that job was at Bunnings.
Aren't we blessed in the industry now? A spool rack with a cutter.
Oh mate.
Gosh.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like that was a learning curve. I was like, fuck, I need something sharp. And I was trying to cut it with my keys, everything, just trying to fucking, I was like, mental. That's, did you ever, that's a pretty bad fuck up.
I think I might have been in a situation like that before, and I think I had a pair of pliers, but they didn't have a cutter on them.
Oh.
And I just, I do, actually, I think I might have seen one of my workers once using a shovel. So don't ask me why we wouldn't have had any seckies with us.
No,
I don't understand why, because like I still have secateurs from Greenscape Solutions, and I know that one pair of secateurs is over 10 years old.
Yeah.
And they were cheap. I don't know what brand they are.
Yeah.
They weren't expensive. And they were from like a local hardware store that doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah. So they're probably good quality.
Yeah. I mean, I got a pair of those Felcos as well.
Oh, do you?
And I literally don't use them.
Yeah. The most money I spent was on Fiskars. And they just fucking sit in my truck, and if I need to give anything a quick chop.
So off the bat, this is probably like nothing on here is very controversial, but I do think that this one's a little bit controversial, and it's something that I've been seeing lately. And look, I really think on-site quoting gives you, I think, an edge, or at least it doesn't allow you to make mistakes.
Yeah, 100%.
And what I mean by that, like at the moment, I'm seeing a lot of stuff. It's probably been trending for, say, the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Where people are using either photos or Google Maps and all of these different web avenues to do quotes. And I think it's cool to be able to use a square meterage or to have, some of these ways to quote.
Yeah.
But I just think people are really doing themselves in, because let's face it, you can have 400 square meters of turf and you can be like, okay, I know exactly how long that's going to take me to mow. Let's do a quote. And that's all well and good if it's like a straight square, and you could get there and this thing could be not what you thought.
No.
You could have trees and garden edges, in the way. You could have a tree stump poking out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I really believe that on-site quoting, I know it takes up time and people are going to say that that's a drawback and that that's going to make you less profitable. But if you're doing lots and lots and lots of quoting, I still believe on-site quoting gives you the best chance to get eyes on a job and to quote the job for what it's really worth.
Yeah, I totally agree. We definitely look at jobs using Google Earth and things like that. I definitely jump on if I get a lead on an acreage or even a residential, and I just see if it's worth my time, and then I will organise to go out and quote in person, because you never know what you're going to turn up to. I did when I first started. I'm not going to lie. I had a few occasions where I quoted from photos, and every single time I got burnt. The customer's never going to tell you that their lawn is overgrown if they're after a quote, because they'll hold you to that quote. They don't give a fuck. It's unfortunate, but yeah, that's the mentality of people that are trying to get you to do shit like via photos. There's normally something, a hidden agenda or something.
How's Vicky on the fucking sticky tape right now?
Hola. You keep talking, I'll close the door.
Yeah, so look, on-site quoting I think is still very important, and I think it should still be a major part of everybody's quoting process. It's not the same as tiling or concreting, where you can give a true square meterage rate,
Yeah,
and really not get shafted.
that's it.
So, you know, I still think, you know, if people are doing mulch jobs or, you know, even mowing jobs to some extent, you can still have a square meterage rate that you use to give yourself an idea. But I just think we need to look at the variables, especially if you're new in business. Go and look at those jobs.
Yeah, mulching quotes and things like that, I definitely use on large scale jobs. I'll use Google Earth or something like that just to get a rough measurement. Because
it helps.
It's kind of it is easier.
I just don't think it should be the deciding factor.
No, and I'd definitely go out and check it out anyway. Because if you're going to be investing in a job, because let's face it, when you do any sort of large scale work, like there's an investment. Like with our job, we were lucky. We asked for 50% up front, which covered all the materials.
Yep.
But yeah, all the other shit.
Which I think is, if you're doing a job that's over $5,000, I think you want to be doing that anyway.
Yeah.
Like I didn't always, like we did a couple of sort of high-end larger jobs, and anything within say $5,000 of materials, you know, depending on the client, I would just, you know, kind of cover. But I think once you're getting beyond that, if something does go south, you at least want to cover your material costs.
I've done a couple that I've kicked myself and been like, fuck, I should have asked for a deposit.
It just helps with cash flow as
it
well.
does,
You know, you got to pay your boys.
That's exactly right.
I remember, you know, I paid two of the guys almost $1,000 each, and we had like $3,000 or $4,000 in materials. You know, by the time you finish the job, and then you usually have a 7 to 14 day window for them to pay the invoice, you can be out quite a bit. I mean,
especially with the larger villages and things like that.
Yeah, a lot of businesses, you know, that's their entire float.
Yeah, that's it.
So, you know, and it's not about, the risk is never not getting paid. That should be standard.
Yeah.
The risk is, you know, maybe a whippersnipper goes down. In the meantime, you know, and it's not like you can just draw that $700 from anywhere.
That's
right?
exactly right.
So
it's a big hit to the pocket if you're not prepared for it. So
we kind of wandered away from the on-site quoting.
Look, it's all relative. It's you know, it's part of quoting. Asking
it's
for
part
deposits.
of it. You're doing your due diligence.
Yeah, I think that for people who are just starting out in the industry, if they get a chance to do a big quote, it's something that is standard in our invoices now, or quotes, I should say.
I'm still even talking about the residential game.
Yeah.
You know, like even if it's a basic $70 yard, like I think you'll want to know if, you know, the edges are a certain way or, you know, things like that.
But yeah, the thing with so I got burnt on the quotos. Maybe we could call them quotos.
Oh,
Yay, fuck yeah. Wah, 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 wah.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, so the quotos, so I got fucked over on hedges more than anything. So, you know, they'd say, oh, they're a little bit overgrown. Come and give us a quote, or, you know, just quote off the photo. And obviously I was young, dumb, and fucking quoted straight off the photos, rocked up, and what I thought was going to be a 2-hour job turned into like a 5-hour job. So blew my asshole out on that one. And
Yeah.
I think that was the last one that I was just like, nah, no more. No more photo quotes. No more quotos.
Yeah, quotos. I like that. Okay. The next point that we have is misspelt on my thing.
Fucking everything's misspelt on mine.
Is discipline.
Oh, that's a good one.
Now, it's so simple, right? And people are probably like, what are these dudes wanking on about? But, you know, when we talk discipline, I think just being organized and having a routine.
Time management is like huge, I think. Like especially when you're first starting off, and especially if you've just come out of like a 9 to 5 or whatever, you don't want to lose that routine.
Yeah,
I think routine
it's
is really strong to keep you motivated.
And I know a large part of our industry is aiming for lifestyle.
Yeah.
So there's probably going to be people who are like, I don't need to be fucking disciplined.
Yeah,
But I still think even if you have that lifestyle business balance, I really still think if you want to give yourself the best chance to succeed, you still need discipline.
Yeah.
Like I still think it's great to have that routine where you're waking up at a certain time every day and you're, you know, not running through the motions, but following that process.
Yeah. Because if you sleep in every day, then sleeping in is not a treat anymore. It's just what time you sleep to in the morning. So if you, you know, and each to their own, like this is just how I work. When I get to sleep in an extra hour, I'm like, fuck yeah, I got to sleep in. But if I'm getting up at the same time every morning, like it wouldn't be a treat. It just would be what time I wake up.
And I think as well, like this is obviously being disciplined is not just waking up at a certain time.
Yeah, no.
I know I went through a stage in my career where and I was a solo operator at the time.
Just watched that fucking, there's a staffy across the road and it just fucking dragged its asshole across about 12 meters of grass.
The poor lady, she hit one of her dogs during the week. Second one.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Nice
Nice lady.
I can see fucking 2 dogs from here. How many did she have?
I think
7?
she had 3.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, I had.
Yeah, she minced them.
Oh, it was a bad finish.
Yeah, look, nice lady, but I mean...
Yeah.
If it happened... You fucking asshole. What were we talking about? I know. So I was going to say, I know there was a point in my work history where I got into this really bad habit of just ditching my last job every day. Or like on a certain run, I'd be like, man, I don't want to fucking do this last job. And it'd be like 1:30 in the arvo. And I'm like, fuck it, I'll make it up on Friday or I'll make it up, you know, whenever. And even more extreme, when I was really young lad, I worked with a friend and we just got into this really bad habit of like ditching 3 or 4 jobs on a Friday and making them up on a Saturday morning, even when we'd been out on the piss.
Fuck.
And look, it's okay to go through stages of that in your life.
Yeah.
But I just know it created an avenue for us to cut corners.
Yeah.
And the communication levels drop. Your organization, you know, being organized, all of that drops.
What was your excuse to the customers like every Friday, every second Friday?
Like a lot of, I recall a lot of it being in the body corporate space.
Okay.
So
you didn't really have to be
it'd just be a unit block that had to be done by the end of the week.
They're probably your good money jobs too. You're just like, fuck it.
I think we had it was a whole body corporate business.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But, you know, for the sake of working an extra 2 hours means that's a Saturday morning, 4 or 5 hour round trip.
Yeah.
Right? Because you're already out there.
Yeah.
And I remember I was working with Tyson at one point, and for whatever reason, I was with Steve-O, that's who I worked with Tyson. And then I just was like falling asleep. I was just all, one day at work, and I was like, Steve-O, man, we just got to bail on this last job. Like, and I fully conned Steve-O into it.
Yeah.
And when we got back, Tyson said, how'd you go with your list? And, we gave him the news. And, man, he got in his car and he went and did that job.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like drove from Wynnum out to the city, hit the job. Didn't say nothing to us. And I just remember looking at that scenario and being like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like my laziness and everything like that has just,
has just fucked his up.
And it really just brought to light, it didn't affect me in any other way. Like I didn't have to make up the time. I didn't have to do anything. It was just straight up a loss with Tyson. But, I don't know. I think that's sort of when a switch went off. And it was
guilt, like
if you're, obviously, but
guilty.
I think if you, I don't think people need to set the bar too high.
Yeah.
But it's good. I don't think we should just be constantly deferring.
No.
I'll do it another day.
Yeah,
I'll do it another day.
Yeah.
Not sure how everyone feels about that.
No, look, I totally agree. I feel like I've let myself down a million times with doing the whole fucking, especially when I first started, and like it was nice because I did have a little bit of a bit of capital in the bank when I first started, and my wife and I'd been on night shifts for fucking 11 years doing, 10 to 12 hours a night. And then I just had a little bit of freedom, and it was nice to sort of get back in touch with my wife and be able to hang out with my kids properly and things like that, because they were young and I missed out on so much. Like I'd be getting home when they were getting ready to go to kindy or to school. So I use that as an excuse though. Like I was like, I really want to hang out with you guys today, so I'll just let those couple of jobs slide onto the weekend, and then, I'd get to the weekend and be like, what the fuck is wrong with me? Like, I don't want to fucking do this shit today. Like, what the fuck didn't I do this on the day that it's actually meant to be done?
Yeah.
And, that was, a learning curve, but...
And sidebar topic, when we think about momentum, like it's easy to get momentum, but the hard thing is maintaining momentum.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And I think it's probably, maybe I'm applying this more to a Catch Pro situation.
No, it's not just a mental thing. It's a physical thing as well with momentum. Yeah. I think if you fucking...
Like it's easy to first get on a roll and be like, fuck yeah, I picked up this job. And, I'm on a real roll, but I think it's more difficult to maintain that momentum and to keep on that roll and
keep it spicy.
Yeah, so...
No, I totally agree. But yeah, time management has always been a bit of an issue. It's a little bit better now for me. I'm a little bit more disciplined with my time management. But yeah, I totally agree with you, and I've sort of learned from my mistakes because you can't get bigger if like you're just trying to avoid work.
Yeah, honestly, when I talk about discipline, it's as much something that you should be applying in your personal life.
Yeah.
Brushing your teeth before you go to bed.
Yeah.
And
look, it kind of leads into one of my points, which is don't avoid work. Like, it sounds dumb, like, that's literally all you're out there to do. But I know at times I've done what you've done and pushed that work, and it's fucked me up. And I think the only way you can actually, especially as a solo, now it's a little bit different for me because I manage and I work. So I've got like a bit of work that I do physically, and then there's a lot of background work with people. But
and it's important for people to not end up like me, where like now, I did this with Greenscape Solutions as well. I had this really bad habit of coming home, so I do the same thing right now, right? I'm in this rut that I've created for myself, and I can't go to bed unless I really follow this.
Yeah.
But I, switch off at 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, hang out with the kids, do all that stuff. All of that stuff's great, good, have dinner. And then, like, instead of just watching TV with Vicky or something like that, man, I go back into my office for like 2 or 3 hours until 9 o'clock, and I'm just working.
Yeah.
And I get like this second wind, and it's great in some ways because I can brainstorm and do things in a different way. But
And normally your phone, it's probably like a cause of like your environment, because during the day, like I know being
just
here,
couriers rocking up
couriers and phone
so-
calls and shit. So
so it
you
is
probably
different.
have like a period of time at night where you're not getting fucking text and phone calls.
I don't know about
I mean, like,
Not
that
phone
you
calls.
don't feel like you have to respond to.
Yeah. But I mean, even when I had Greenscape Solutions, I would spend hours Googling gardening contracts,
Yeah.
ways that I could, back then there was companies that were snatching up huge contracts that would then offload them to smaller guys like me, like subbies. And I really, really, really became very consumed by like just working at that part of night.
Yeah.
And I think it's bad. I think if you can keep it within this 8-hour period, whatever makes you happy, but like I think being like all of this falls under that category of being disciplined.
Yeah, I agree with that too. But yeah, back to the work thing. I think like actually physically working is just, you're not going to get out of that unless you've got like a massive team that you're fucking running behind the scenes. But I know from personal experience, and sometimes I just couldn't be fucked. Like summer, like at the end of summer, like you are just so hot, so dusty, so fucking beat that sometimes you're just like,
Look, I think in situations like that, it's fine to take a back foot.
treat yourself.
It is. I think if you're just, like for me, if I had work to do and I was like, I mean, I don't go fishing, right? But if I was like, I'm ditching work, I'm going fishing.
Yeah.
I just, you could do it once off and it might not affect your business.
Yeah.
But like if you are doing things like that regularly,
Because you kind of form a pattern and a routine.
Yeah, it feels
like,
good. And
it's like, fuck it, yeah. Anything that sort of...
And I even went through a stage, pal, where this is another thing.
Remember when we used to play basketball? We used to fucking...
Yeah, during work.
Yeah,
hey?
yeah.
But I used to go surfing. So
Yeah.
I would like I'd have all of my mates were tradies when we were younger. And every now and again they'd get an RDO or maybe someone had a job down the Goldie.
Yeah.
And we would wake up at crackers, like 4 o'clock in the morning, drive an hour, go for a surf, usually drive 2 hours back because of traffic,
Yeah.
get on the tools at like 11. And I just think, I know it caused me a lot of drama.
Yeah.
Because, everything is just different without a fresh start.
Yep.
You're not organised, you're not in the same mental space.
Yeah.
So being disciplined, I know we sort of really rambled on that topic. Next topic is confidence.
Oh, yeah. Fuck yeah.
But let's not confuse this with being a cocky bastard.
Yeah. There's a few different ways that I've approached situations in my business. And I think being confident, but not being like overconfident and cocky and fucking trying to make yourself out to be something that you're not, is just not going to work, because you get fucking caught out. You look like the dumbest piece of shit.
Yeah, I think confidence is, obviously it's much more on the quoting side. Being confident is just really great for a person to have
Yeah.
in all aspects of their life.
Yeah, I think so too.
There's certainly areas where it's fine to be cautious. I don't think being cautious makes you not a confident person.
No.
But being able to be confident in yourself, to charge the right price and to do that job, well, and get paid and collect the money, all of these things. Like I've sat at someone's front door before for 10 minutes talking to them, thinking like, why isn't this person reaching into their fucking pocket and paying me? You know, and like they've even said goodbye.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, okay, no worries. See you next time. It's like, motherfucker, give me my money.
Yeah.
And
Are you gonna fix me up for that?
and I just know for someone like Rusty who is not confident, he might actually walk away from that situation.
Yeah. And then be like, oh, I'll send text later.
Yeah, you know,
No, I'll
and
come pick up the
people like some people will probably think about this and be like, "Whoa, that's a wild scenario." Like I've never, but it happens.
Yeah, fucking oath it does.
You know, and other people who would be like, "Oh shit, do you have change for 100?" It's like,
No, motherfucker.
like you needed to do that before,
Yeah. I'm not a bank.
you know, and you don't have to be an asshole.
No.
You know, like you don't. Sometimes we confuse it, like standing up for yourself.
And
with
not
being-
only that, you don't have to feel like an asshole. You've done the job. So you can fucking, yeah. I was actually literally talking to Lou last night. She brought up, so we have very minimal residential customers, and my residentials are basically in my villages.
Yep.
So they're little fucking extras that we do here and there. And they're like $30 fucking courtyard, just nothing. We'd probably take the snipper in there. But when they don't pay, like for some reason, we have no issue sending these fucking, couple of $1,000 invoices and the fucking whatever it is, like when they go overdue and you send them an
yeah,
overdue
you're sending a
notice.
notice. Yep.
We don't feel bad doing that. But when it's like $25 or $30 or $50 to a residential, she still feels bad about it, and I still feel bad about it. It's like, fuck, do you really like? Because at the moment, let's be honest, like people are fucking struggling, and you're like, fuck, do they have that money? Like, I feel like an asshole, but then I shouldn't. Like,
No,
and
I think confidence plays a real part. Like you have to be able to. It's not just with money collection.
yeah, it's,
I mean,
it's with it, like approaching customers and
I've got the same
having an
things.
air of confidence.
I've got the same things with my own dealers.
yeah,
They'll put in an order, and we send them an invoice.
yep,
And our terms are payment before we ship out from our dealers. You know, and occasionally we'll have someone like, "Hey man, where's this order? It's like a week old." It's like, bro, you have to pay the invoice.
yeah,
And it always feels very awkward
yeah,
to say that because a lot of these dealers have 30, 60-day accounts.
yeah,
Consignment stuff, everything like that. But we can't run like that.
no,
And being confident, to be honest, I actually feel more comfortable talking over the phone to them than writing an email saying you have to pay the invoice.
yeah,
Because at least then I can actually explain the situation, which I shouldn't even, some people would say maybe I'm not confident because I'm, having to tiptoe around the situation, but I just feel more comfortable being able to say, like we need to collect payment before we're going to ship this
I'm
out.
100% with you on the phone thing. I would rather speak to someone than write them an email and then have it just fucking hanging there over my head, just time ticking by until they decide to write back. At least if I call them and talk to them, it's like done on the spot and I can,
Well, before we switch lanes, let's stay on this with communication.
Yeah.
Now, I don't actually see. Oh yeah, back end communication, right?
Yeah.
So
it's there.
So we're switching topics, but we're staying in the same field.
Yeah.
So communication, Beej. Now we've talked. Communication is the key.
Huge.
And you said you like to get on the phone and stuff.
Yeah. Even when someone sent me an email, because a lot of the time I'm driving from site to site. So if someone sends me an email, I don't always have a chance to write back to it. And I don't want to rush my reply, and I want to actually make sure that I get all the information correct before I agree or don't agree to something or whatever can get you in a lot of trouble. So I always just, if I see an email come up, I kind of read the blab, and then I just fucking hook in with a phone call.
Yeah, and I think what that shows confidence as well.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people out there in everyday life that feel much more comfortable either writing a text or an email because getting on the phone might be too daunting for them.
Yeah. Well, look, I've got a point written down, and it's just simply the word no, because you shouldn't feel bad saying no to things, and you shouldn't hold it like against yourself if someone says no to you. Like if you lose a quote or something like that, sometimes it's just not meant to be. Like doors open and close all the time. So
Well, I think the bigger issue is being able to say no.
yeah,
And it's crazy. Like, we all talk about being our own bosses and, this lifestyle thing. And I mean, geez, like I never said no in my whole career.
it comes back to a confidence thing
You
too.
know, like these little old ladies that the job's worth fuck all.
Yeah,
And you still say yes.
yeah,
I had a lady that lived in housing commission. She must have been really poor. Like she used to walk so far to take her kid to school.
yeah,
And I mean, her courtyard was huge, and I used to do it for fuck all.
yeah,
And I just did it, and like for years I did it.
yeah.
And like I should have just ditched that job. Like, I was never dipping into my own pockets. Obviously,
I got some shit like that. We did one yesterday. So there's this lady. She's got like 3 or 4 kids in this. It's not housing. It's like a housing complex. And like I've heard her backstory from someone else. Like I don't know how much people are supposed to be talking to me, but for some reason, a lot of people open up to me. And a lady told me, oh, she's hiding here from her husband. He was beating her and all this fucked up shit. Anyway, she asked if we could spray our backyard, and like it's just stones. And she's got the kid. She's by herself. She fucking takes the bus everywhere. So she's obviously struggling. And I was just like, yeah, no worries. And we did it, and she's like, I have to go to work, but let me know how much it is. And we just do it now. We just do it for free because, look, it takes 5 minutes out of my, at once a month, if that, like not even that. And I just feel like, I don't know, makes me feel a little bit better. Like,
well, look, I think if it makes you feel better, then
I mean, there's value
then you don't need to say no, right?
Yeah, there's value there. So.
But I think with the whole saying no is more about things that you don't want to do.
Yeah.
Like where you actually are just like, man, I'm like, why have I said yes to this?
Yeah. Especially when you quote from photos, quotos.
Yeah, and it's
I do know, like from personal experience, when people ask you to quote from photos, they fucking pressure you a lot because they want you to quote from that photo because it's from fucking 6 months ago.
See, I mean, obviously, I've been out of it for almost 2 years now, and the last, I'd say, 4 years of my career, I didn't do a lot of quoting because we had contracts and stuff. And we were virtually doing no residential. But I'd never been asked to quote from a photo before.
Really? Oh,
yeah, no shit. Like,
especially when you jump on, like, because you didn't use Facebook as like a marketing tool or anything like that. So
never ever.
When you're deep in these groups, the word no becomes very, very important because there are a lot of people out there that are trying to fucking scam you.
And what I think is tough, I know we're backtracking, but if there's so many businesses out there that are willing to quote, to quoto, that's going to make it really tough on you following our rule of on-site quoting.
Yeah.
But I also do believe whilst there would be some gems in the quoto world, I think honestly for peace of mind, being professional, and just knowing exactly what you're getting into, as cool as quoto sounds, because we've just like started a new thing.
Yeah.
I'm saying no to quoto.
Yeah, I don't like quoto. Quoto's no good.
It sounds
more quoto. It sounds like a fucking
sounds really cool though.
Monster or something.
The
quoto got me.
Back onto communication, we had like a subcategory and it's your back end.
Yep.
And it's kind of boring. So maybe we won't go too nuts on it.
Yeah, that is when, back end work is when it comes to like replying to emails and shit like that.
See how it's even just boring to talk about?
Yeah, it's like, no one wants to fucking do that shit.
But all your routines, obviously your emails, and, checking payments, all of those things. uh, it's one of the highest neglected things,
Yeah.
apart from the next topic, which I'll bring up.
Yeah.
But it's one of the highest neglected things that people should not neglect.
Yeah. When you get a little bit bigger too and you have staff, then it's like, it's actually a really important part of your business, the back end, because we have, different sites require different levels of
Communication?
OH&S
Oh, okay,
yeah, and things like that. Like I consider that back end too, like
course, yeah.
being qualified in different things like that, all that fucking shit, and it all has to be neat and tidy because they can ask you for it whenever they want, and if you don't have it right, they'd be like, "Get the fuck off my side."
That was like me when I was running that site, and obviously the CM3 and swims and everything. It was very new to us,
Yeah,
and because Rusty had worked construction sites his whole life, he was onto it. And the manager, the South African dude, was like, "Do you have your paperwork?" And I just dumped this huge mass booklet, like this. It was this fucking romper folder, and he's like, "This is not organized." And I'm like, "Yeah, it's for you, mate." And he's like, "I can't." He was saying like, he's like, "I can't look at I can't even critique you on this because I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at." And I mean, I took it for a big joke, and I got away with it in that situation, but. Yeah, it's not the right thing to do.
Thank fuck I have Louise because I'd be cooked.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I could be someone who, like, could easily. It's just we've been doing the job for so long.
Yeah.
And especially when we took over, we were taking over other people's mess.
Yeah.
I just had more important things to worry about.
Exactly, yeah.
Like I had been ticked off. I had all my paperwork there. It was all signed.
He just wanted it in fucking categorized form.
Look, ultimately, that's the way I would have wanted it as well.
Yeah.
It's just that, like we just had shit to do.
Yeah.
So,
and to jump off back end, very similar topic. If you're gonna, do this business long term, you probably want to research a good invoicing / quoting program or app, because there's nothing worse than changing down the track, which we have done and we're probably going to do again as we move towards the whole company thing. We're probably just going to change over to Xero because that's what most people use. We already use the one-touch payroll system from Xero, so it's not an unfamiliar sort of thing for us. But yeah, we started with Invoice to Go. That came from your recommendation, and then the fucking price went through the roof, and that was when we first started. And we ended up with Rounded, which was branded Invoice to Go, but half the price, and it was true. And we still have it now. It's actually not a bad program, so it served us well. It's got everything we need, and it's pretty reasonably priced.
yeah. Now, before we get on to the next topic, want to take a break and talk about our pal Mulmet.
Oh fuck yeah.
Willie. So he's got 50 whipper grippers.
Oh, how many you got?
I probably have one. Well, Vicky probably's just packed it.
Yeah, bye-bye.
I had 100, but I don't now. Okay. So if anyone's looking for a whipper gripper online, go to Mole Merch.
Nice.
There's lots of cool things happening over there.
Oh, check out the new Skag shirt.
Yeah, saw that.
Yeah, I've got one on order.
There's a new meow toe.
Looks like a Sasquatch. I'm kind of jealous. I kind of want a Sasquatch shirt.
They needed, you know what they needed to do? Obviously, the backstory is it got ripped off his,
Yeah.
Yeah, they needed to make a shirt that looked like it was being ripped.
Maybe they should just make one with like Velcro so you can just put it back together when you need it.
So, no, that's really cool that they did a shirt for Meow Town.
Meow down.
Maybe next I'll make a skirt for Nanki. I don't know. So, anyway, we're getting on to the next topic, bro. And it's the next most neglected point of business.
Tell me.
Servicing.
Fucking oath, bruz. Yeah, man.
Hit a voice.
Oh,
There you go.
Do I have a voice too?
I think you do.
Oh, awesome.
I don't know. It could just be me. Fuck yeah.
Can you talk about your whippersnipper shaft in that voice?
I've got the thickest shaft in town. It's not bent, it's always straight for you. I'll come and trim your edges.
Oh boy.
I'll cut them so deep.
Oh, yucky.
Okay, so servicing.
That's the hottest I've ever sounded in my life.
That is something else.
Yeah, sorry about
That's fucking confidence right
that.
there.
Everyone's rolling around with bonus now.
So look, servicing, obviously we've done a whole episode on servicing before.
Yeah.
And, we don't need to get right into it, but I do think, especially if you're old school and you're still running two-stroke equipment.
Nah, get fucked, mate. I fucking love me two-stroke. No, I dig the battery stuff too, but, obviously I've got a lot of people out there and I've got myself a bunch of stuff for acreage, so I basically just have two-stroke and then I've got a battery hedger. So I still have plenty of maintenance, zero turns, plenty of maintenance, pushies, maintenance, servicing, blah, blah, blah. I've gotten better. I buy all my oils and shit in bulk now, so I'm never fucking scrounging because I like to use genuine Kawasaki oil. So normally I'm fucking, scrambling through every mower shop in southeast Queensland to find fucking Kawasaki oil.
But I think the GA,
It's probably exactly the same, but
I think it is
doesn't
because
have.
they're the
I know.
they're the distributor
I
for
fucking know.
Kawasaki.
Yeah. So
And I think all dealers give it the thumbs up.
yeah. Well, maybe we should have a fucking.
Nah, fuck that.
What?
I don't know. Were you going to say like an episode about oil?
Fuck no. I was going to
Because
get someone
I
in
could
from
talk about-
fucking GA to talk about their products.
I can talk about baby oil, but
Oh, fuck yeah.
no. Hey, everyone, we are going to do an episode with Paul Sheehan and probably Ben Gripsky.
Yep.
We're going to do a round table. And obviously, they own GA.
Yep.
Well, I mean, Ben's family owns it. Paul runs it.
Yeah. I hope Paul brings some sausages. He cooks a fucking good banger.
Yeah, what was it? Fucking.
I don't know. Some fucking
was a-
foot-long American.
Yeah, one was called like a Western.
Oh, I
Western
don't know.
Something.
It's the first sausage I haven't been able to fit down my throat.
just like a big chode, eh?
It's like trying to suck off this microphone.
All right.
That was a good one.
Servicing.
Yes.
So,
Now, did you have a routine? Does this go back to routine or discipline? Or I think it kind of does.
look, for me,
You're a bit OCD about it, weren't you?
look, before I had kids, absolutely not. And it was an awful time in my career because I would get to a job, none of the machines were running right. I'd had to fill up the spools. I fucking didn't have oil on board. But, once I had children, we all know life gets a little different.
It does.
And, I was lucky enough to be able to get myself in a routine where, like, from when my kids could walk, I was in a situation where I was probably at home looking after them anyway. Hey, why not? Just, roll around in your nappy and I would get them to clean the air filters and, so that's when I started becoming really disciplined and getting in a routine. And usually I actually like to do this on a Friday arvo.
Yeah.
But sometimes it became like a Saturday thing. And honestly, my business just never ran smoother.
Yeah.
Like it was so good. Like I even got to a point where I was physically cleaning, like, like a Honda. I don't know how the Hondas are really set up these days. Like it's just, but I had several 196s.
Yeah.
And the grass would always just build up in the chassis.
Yeah.
Right where the motor was.
Yep.
And like you'd blow it off occasionally when you see some build up. But man, I got into a proper thing where I had like this brush that I actually trimmed. Like it was a full jig.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty intense.
Fucking
right?
rustified.
Yeah. So, well, this was just before Rusty's time. Right?
Oh, okay.
So, anyway, and I could just get it right on the top of the chassis and just clean everything. Make sure. Remember the little governor spring?
Mm-hmm.
And like grass clippings will get caught up in it.
Yeah.
And if that thing is just like rim rocking the wrong
on the
way,
piss.
it could either slow or really, really up your revs.
Yeah.
But look, I really, really got myself into acute route where I'd vacuum my car as well after every week.
Did you ever? So this is me. I don't vacuum my car. I blow the fucking thing out.
Look, you would think now that I'm not a mower man that I wouldn't face these issues.
You got fucking hay and shit all over your car.
Yeah,
fucking
because-
horse boy.
Because of the horse riding,
Yeah.
my car is disgusting. And you know, like when I had the Hilux, when I was still on the tools, I was the same way. Like
Yeah.
it'd never be immaculate, but
Yeah.
I'd just give it a once over every week. And it's just not like that at the moment.
Yeah.
But I do want people to know that this specific thing that we're saying with the servicing, I do believe that it's actually going to give your business the best chance to succeed.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about vacuuming your fucking backseat.
No.
But I am talking about making sure, you know, your spark plugs are good, you know, making sure that the air filters are clean all the time. And now more so than ever, because we're really in this dusty period, and I learned at some point how bad dust is
For everything.
for the cylinders.
Oh, it's fucked for everything.
you know,
Starters, everything.
It
man.
just strips the fuck out of everything.
Yeah.
So
Now, well, I'll do a little offshoot off of servicing, and one of the key factors for me when I first started, I was very lucky. Like I said, I had a little bit of capital there, and I bought pretty much everything in the commercial realm. Like I bought like a commercial mower, snipper, multi-tool, blower, and they lasted me. This was the T260 and 230 realm, so they fucking lasted me five years, and then I had to turn them over. As we all know, it's not the same as it used to be, which is unfortunate, but just a factor of life. But where you can buy commercial or the best that you can afford, I think that's, you know, when you're buying tools and shit like that. Like I'm only just upgrading my hand tools like to Milwaukee and stuff, and there is a huge difference. Now I'm not saying like, you know, I'm fucking nearly 10 years into business, and I'm only just buying myself some decent hand tools. I'm not saying you have to go out and spend, you know, $40,000 straight off the bat and get fucking commercial zero turn and all commercial tools, but just get the best you can with your budget, I think is where I'm sort of pointing at.
yeah, look, it's always been the case.
And it reduces servicing and things like that. Like if you're
does.
fucking, you know, if you're using like say a commercial mower, then you've got ease of access to the air filters and shit like that. And, you know, they take a little bit longer before you have to service the oil. Like instead of 30 hours, it's 50 hours.
Yeah, I mean, all of that consumable stuff, like
Yeah.
it all adds to your bottom line.
Yeah. They're the sort of things that people don't work out when they're looking at machines too. Like over time, you know, having to change your oil 20 hours earlier every service.
It's the same thing with just using shit oil
Yeah.
as compared
I mean, how
to,
much does oil cost really? What was it Paul Sheehan that said, you know, fucking oil's cheap, engines cost a
No,
fortune?
so that was Jap.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So he's like the, I don't know if he's he's fucking something over at PLP.
Yeah. He nearly vomited on me when I had my whippersnipper in there, and he fucking opened up the head and there was no grease in it. He's like, when the fuck did you grease this last? I'm like, you greased the whippersnipper head?
I always did that, by the way. I just want to say.
Oh, did it? Fuck off, you did. Did you really?
Are you kidding me?
There's
Of course I
no fucking
did.
grease nipple on it. It's just a fucking bolt there. I always wondered what the bolt was for.
Well, Stills have a bolt because they make you fucking buy their fucking arsehole grease that's only compatible with it. But
Arsehole grease.
yeah, like because you take the nut out
Yeah.
and it's a little thread, and you have to thread their little friendship one in to
Oh,
squeeze
okay.
it.
And look, a lot of these all line up together. Like
Yeah,
when
I'm a serial over greaser, by the way.
you fucking blew out so many hedger seals. It's not funny.
Yeah, don't. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're never the same after you.
But
after you
no,
pop the cherry.
like buying commercial, the best you can afford to your budget, all that sort of stuff. With that, do your research. Like you really have to research what your, I don't know, what your goals in business are, what you prefer doing. Like it's hard because it's not like you can go out and fucking, well, you can these days. You can go and hire a zero turn and give things a crack. And if that's where you want to go, or a cylinder mower or whatever, fucking wherever you want to sort of see your business. And I guess that kind of leads into the whole plan ahead and like try and visualize where your business wants, where you want it to go, and see your happy place and see where, you want to see your life travel, because it's your business. Like if you're investing in this business, you want it to fucking suit what you want. And sort of that's, I've lost sight of that a little bit lately because, it's busy and it's booming and I'm running off that motivation because I know it's not always going to be like that, especially if we have a drought. But yeah, what were you going to say?
Can I do a sidebar subcategory?
Fuck yeah.
And that's setting goals. We've talked about this before on the podcast, but I mean, setting goals. Look, whether you want to grow your business into something like, the sky's the limit, or if you are looking to make it a lifestyle business, setting goals is going to be a part of that.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter which way you want to go.
Yeah.
So if you only want to work 3 days a week, but earn, a full income, you're going to need to set goals. And, sometimes like I always like setting achievable goals. Yeah. So that you can see some progress before you've, hit that big mecca. Mm-hmm. So we won't go too far into it, but I think setting goals is just like a cool little point that we didn't actually have on here.
No, I think if you haven't got an idea of where you've been, you can't really respect where you are. Like if you've got no goals, then what are you aiming for? Like just a weekly paycheck? So I think you may as well just work for someone else.
Yeah, could be.
Really, it's hard, but
so the next point I have here was the last point, but I'm going to do it now while I've got everyone engaged, and that's pride. Because you know what? I'm not seeing a lot of pride in the business right now.
Not really?
Not socially. I just seem to be seeing a lot. Like it's not one or two people. There's just a lot of comments about like not needing to do the best job.
Yeah, who cares what it looks like?
And I just look, I get it to some degree.
Yeah.
There is a degree there that I understand. But never for the life of me can I really get behind the concept of doing a service for someone and not doing a good job.
Yeah.
Or not doing a job that is satisfactory.
Yeah.
And so, like maybe it's you're not going to do the edges every service.
Yeah.
It's like I look at that and I'm like why?
Yeah, I do get that. I feel like if your standard isn't the same as your first, second and third service, still, if you're at the job, 10 years, it doesn't matter. If you're still not striving to have that place looking immaculate every time you leave the gate.
Well, look, it has to be relevant to the price that you're charging.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So if you if you went into a corner block and you've quoted $80 and you mow it and you think, fuck, probably should charge $95 for this.
Yeah.
Then I can understand if maybe you
let it slip a bit.
Maybe you cut it a notch higher than what you would have.
Yeah.
Or like maybe not every edge is uprighted or something like that. I can get with that.
Yeah.
But to say to yourself, I'm going to charge top dollar.
Yeah.
And not provide the best service and then think that that's good.
Yeah.
I'm off it. Like I don't, like I sort of, I can sort of understand it from time to time, but as a general rule of thumb or a general goal, I'm off it. I don't,
Yeah.
you know, I'm not with it.
No, it's not something that I endeavor for. I definitely have tried to instill in everyone like we make it look immaculate. Like I never want to get a phone call and be like, hey, this actually doesn't look like it should. I don't ever want those phone calls. Like if I stop getting photos from the boys, being like, "Oi, check this out." Like I get photos every week from the guys when they do something and they're like, "Oi, fucking check out how good this looks." I'm like, "Yeah, boy." Like that's I don't know that.
When you see your workers taking photos of any work that they've done,
Yeah.
that's when you know that that person is worth keeping.
Fuck yeah.
I've actually seen, now this is way extreme, and if you ever see anybody doing this, then make sure you drop like a Hulk Hogan leg drop on them. But I've seen Russell lying down on grass.
Fuck's sake.
This is when he first started.
Fuck's
Right?
sake.
I've seen him lying down on grass, looking at like which way it's growing, so that he can like mow it the best way. Now I don't, like I said, you should either give him
Yeah.
a people's elbow or a leg drop.
That's fucked.
However,
Yeah.
I had to look at it from a boss's point of view
Yeah.
and be like, whoa, this dude is connected. Like he wants to learn.
Yeah. Did he mow it and then take a photo?
No, but you know what I mean? Like he was looking at the best way that he could make this
Yeah.
like look the best.
Nothing makes me harder than when I get tagged in a fucking bunch of photos or a reel from my own staff.
Yeah, that is cool, man.
It's fucking incredible. The guys that I've got working for me at the moment just make my life so much easier and make business not a challenge. Like it is a challenge, like there's other elements, but they're not. Like I have to admit, when it comes to staff, I got the fucking good ones.
Yeah, and I know these are not all, like all of these things that we're talking about, these are not things that, say, Ben Van der Giesen came up with himself.
Yeah.
Or they're not things that I applied in my own business when I started my business. These are things that I picked up along the way from my peers. Like I remember I was working for Tyson.
Yeah.
We've pulled up, I was with Scuba Steve, and he's a funny dude.
Yeah.
And he pulls up and he goes, "Holy fuck, Cobbs." And I was like, what? You know, like I'm thinking something's happening. He's like, "Look at the fucking growth on this hedge." And I'm talking millimeters,
Yeah, okay.
like 15, 20 mil,
Yeah.
you know? And like, I'm looking at it and I'm like, you could just clap your hands and be fucking done with this.
Yeah.
And
You just push it,
you know, like
push the growth back in.
their whole, and Shuri used to say this too, you know, you want to make it look like you were never there.
Yeah.
The job just looks fucking sweet all the time. So, you know, when you hedge all of that dust off, like, you know, you're not just blowing it against the building, you know, all of these things.
Yeah.
You know, I learned all of this stuff over the course of 2 decades.
Yeah. Well, when you see people succeeding around you, you kind of vacuum up what they're doing. It's just natural. Like you fucking look at what they're doing, and if it's a winner, you're like, oh, I could do that. I could do that in my business, and maybe see some of the success. But
I still want to, you know,
with what you were saying with the boys, like how you sort of learn off them. That's one of my points. That's one of my biggest points on here, and one that we fucking reinforce every time we talk about shit like this. And it's network within your community and your local contractor groups.
yeah, there's never going to ever be anything wrong with networking.
Nah.
And what I love about the industry right now, because I don't want to be negative about the industry, because it's a very positive space.
Yeah.
But everyone is on board with networking.
Yeah.
It's great. Like you
Huge.
see so much stuff on social media and they're like, "Hey, I seen this dude on this main road, you know, shout out, rah, rah."
Yep.
And there's businesses connecting all over
Yeah.
that are working in collaboration
Sidebar, did you see my TikTok I put up? I don't very often put TikToks up.
I got so many TikTok notifications, and
I'm just fucking driving along, and I was on a day where I was doing a lot of travel between sites and from mower shops and shit like that. And I just saw so many mower guys and girls, and I was fucking waving, and man, there's some fucking sour cunts, eh? They're just like, nah, I'm not gonna wave back to you. So I made like a little TikTok, like, fuck you, dogs.
I mean, look, networking isn't really just saying g'day to people.
No.
But you know, I think it's totally a positive. And,
Yeah. I mean, you can network in the background. Like, I'm sure there's a bunch of people on LMCA that are still
tons.
like hunting through all of the comments and all that sort of stuff, but they're not engaging. They're just vacuuming up the resources.
Oh, yeah. And, you know, I think that's all well and good.
Yeah.
Like, I know...
Yeah, you don't have to post.
Look,
it's
I
not
think,
like you're forced to fucking post. So.
I think a lot of the time that you're networking is probably in times of need.
Yeah.
I think if you've really got that momentum and your business is going really well,
Yeah.
then you're probably not as obliged to network
Yeah.
as if you were in need. Like, say with Catch Pro, I mean, networking is all I did for 2 years.
Yeah.
And now we probably don't focus on it as much.
Yeah.
You know, because we're established and
Yeah.
we still network to some degree, totally 100%. But we just don't, it's not like a main focus.
Yeah. And you've got a different networking circle. You've got Corey, you've got your fucking engineers, you got, you know, the people that you talk to are the people that are specific to your business, which also includes the lawn mowing community. But if you don't get your shit right in your little space, then obviously the backlash is going to be felt in that community. So
Yeah. And you just never know what opportunities you're creating by networking.
yeah.
You know
what? You never know when you're networking, don't fucking talk shit about people because you never know who's going to fucking hear it.
Oh, yeah, man. It's pretty wild, eh?
Fucking
Like,
people talking shit about people in this industry is crazy.
it is
It's a
pretty
bit of a
crazy.
bitchy situation. Like
It is also human nature.
100%. And, you know, drama is the fucking king of the world at the moment. Everybody loves a bit of drama. But, yeah, just a little, you know, no one's going to want to fucking help you out if behind the scenes you're fucking talking shit. So just a little tip.
Yeah, cool. No, I'm always thinking ahead. So
Yeah, no.
before we get on to our next one, want to run a little ad for Bad Workwear.
Fuck yeah.
They have all their waterproof shorts and long pants back in stock.
I almost actually look good in the shorts. So they came out with the is it the Next range?
Yeah, they call it Next. I don't love all of their gimmicks that they put on stuff.
No,
'Cause
but they're cool fucking shorts. Like, I won't put any photos up until I actually fit into them properly because they only came out up to 36, I think.
Can't remember.
Anyway, I'm
Well, I'll tell
I'm
you
not a
what.
fucking 36.
So I'm wearing a 34 in them.
Oh, yeah. Oh, maybe it was 38. And again, I am not a fucking 38. So,
I'm wearing a 38 in them because they're like a short-legged pant.
yeah.
And it's like a elastic waist.
Yeah.
So, you know, you can hover between sizes really
Yeah.
easily. But I do like a little bit extra length.
And you know what?
I don't have the pins to...
Well, see, I don't mind having a short, but the problem with them is if I was to wear them, I would scar a lot of people because my cock and balls are just so flamboyant in them. Like, they're just... I probably couldn't wear them with underpants. I'd have to wear jocks. Like, I couldn't wear, like, my normal boxers.
Okay.
Because, yeah, it's pretty haggis. I'm going to wear them swimming, just only with my wife.
I actually wear mine swimming too.
Do you? Yeah.
Yeah, like... Cause
I mean, they're waterproof.
Yeah, well, yeah. They're not waterproof when you jump into a pool.
Yeah, nothing is.
But anyway, jump on the Bad Workwear site. Don't forget to use our code SKULL. Hey, you know, if you're looking for a pair of socks...
Yeah. I just bought another 6 pairs of socks for this season. They're fucking good. But like, I got bamboo socks from another company, and the way they were stitched, they all just fucking fell apart at the top. But yeah, the Bad Work ones are thick, bros.
There's so many awesome items.
You get a pearl necklace.
I don't understand.
We still haven't fucking got that, eh?
Yeah. I
Maybe we should invest.
maybe I should buy one, eh?
Yeah, we'll
wear well on the set.
Wear them together.
So anyway, bad workwear. Jump on the website, get yourself some new work threads, and look the part.
Yeah.
So next topic.
Do you want one? Do you want a good one? Manageable debt is not the devil.
I don't have that.
Again?
Manageable debt is not the devil.
So,
I wish I need a fucking soundboard, eh?
you got nothing. I've got it all.
I need my own soundboard. I feel left out.
But no, I see a lot of people fucking bagging out people for, oh, would you fucking use finance for that? Finance. It's like, I'm not saying go out and fucking destroy your credit rating with fucking like multiple fucking loans through multiple different companies. Manageable debt is something that, you know, car. Not everyone can afford to go and fucking cash out fucking a $60,000 truck or something like that.
Well, I do. Look, I just always wonder, you know, I see some, it's not across the board, but you do see some comments and people are like, fuck finance, you know, get it, own it, rudder. But I mean, I just don't understand the theory. Like, are they actually, like, I can understand if you're going to buy a whippersnipper, I think it's better to buy it outright.
I think. But
I
if you're
think
going to
if
buy
you-
a fucking $25,000 zero turn,
Yeah, or even 15, even
Yeah.
10. Like, I still don't understand what's so bad about financing that. It means you're in control of your own cash.
it probably comes from the age of GE. Remember when people used to get fucked up with GE? Like, and
It was
I was one of them.
27%.
Yeah,
interest.
20%. You'd be at the pub, you'd be blind as, you got no money left, and you got this fucking GE card sitting in there. You draw out cash, and there's 28% on it straight away. You're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, but look, I just think in that business environment, you just, cash flow is just super important.
Yeah. And if you locked in, like, obviously the fucking boat's gone because the interest rates are all fucking inflated now. But if you locked in if you used like, you know, the instant tax write-off, if you use that to your advantage, normally you're locked into a fucking 1.5% to 2% car loan. Like, that's my truck now would cost fucking almost double what it costs me now. So, like, if I got it now, it'd be fucked.
Yeah, and I just also don't understand. Like, do any of these people have like a mortgage?
Yeah.
Like, what are they doing? Saving to buy a house outright, or do they rent?
Yeah.
which is worse than finance. Like,
Yeah.
there's just, you know.
I mean, rent, like, it is what it is. Like, it's just fucked how the system is kind of fucked up now. How rent is like just as expensive as buying a house, but to buy a house,
not in my situation.
actually, no, true.
paying double.
We're about to get fucked hard. Yeah, we're about to double up. But it is what it is. Like, again, you know, that's just how it is. But
like, even if, let's say you've got $20,000 in your business account, I don't understand how it would be a good move to make a $10,000 purchase.
yeah, I don't see it like that either.
Like-
I do understand if people are like old school and they put away a certain amount of money for those expenses. But if something pops up, like if all of a sudden, like, you know, something happened and I had to spend 10, 15 grand straight up, I would never take it out of my savings. Like, that's,
I
you know.
mean, cash purchases are nowhere near as irresponsible as, you know, like, just financing shit for the sake of financing shit. You know, what
I need a
mean?
new
Like,
pool table.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even if, like, let's just keep it in the business.
Yeah.
Like, you know, whether it's, you know, you're just like, oh, fuck it, I'll just get 2 new wheelbarrows,
Yeah.
you know, and bung them on Afterpay or something.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like, I'm not saying that.
But see, Afterpay, there's no interest unless you're planning on not paying it.
Yeah, but it's well, it's,
Unless you're like, nah, it's cool. Like they make their money off people who just don't want to pay. It's as simple as that. They make a little bit of coin off the vendor, and then all the people who fuck up fills their coffers. So, there's a lot of people out there in a lot of bad situations. But I think it's like I think it's just how the world is now. Like people want things now; they don't want to wait for them, and they've been given the options. But when it comes to business, I think manageable debt is just one of those things. If you want to grow, if you're cool to stay the same, like just chill lifestyle business, whatever. But for me, I know so I've got a massive quote in at the moment. If I get that massive quote, that means I have to buy. I worked it out like fucking 30 grand's worth of stuff.
Yeah.
Just to service this quote. I'm not going to fucking take 30 grand of my own money and sink it into this thing because it's not like I've got fucking $600,000 in the bank just there chilling. Like I invested a lot back into my business.
You know, just quickly, so the definition of rich in Australia, do you know how much money?
Tell me.
So it's what you have in the bank.
Yeah.
Have one guess of what makes you rich. I mean, I know how I would feel rich, but
I'd say like 250 to 300,000.
You're on the money. 300,000.
Is it?
If you've got $300,000 in your personal bank account, that makes you rich in Australia.
Yeah. I could imagine like
I would feel rich if I had 300.
fucking oath.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would.
Pimp
Like,
slapping motherfuckers.
yeah.
Everywhere.
But like
Light up a lung buster with a $10 note.
Ooh, shit, that'd be
And
fancy.
just plastic fuck my lungs up.
Yeah, true. But no,
Wipe my ass
that's
with 20s.
funny that like that's where Rich is sitting now. Like I guess a lot of people do have, investments in other areas. So
Yeah,
like
so
if
it's
you're
not
in the
assets.
stocks and shit like that,
It's
in
not,
houses.
so it's not, I mean, there probably is some level there, but
Yeah. Because naturally, when you're I guess when you're investing in houses and stuff, all your money's kind of tied up. Like you don't normally have like an account with a bunch of money. You have
Yeah,
assets, and then you have like ins and outs.
remember that show, Big Brother?
Yeah,
I can't remember. I'm assuming this is probably early 2000s.
the dancing doona.
Oh, boy.
Imagine how fucked up that place would have been if I went in there. They were just feeding you piss, and I just would have pissed everywhere. And fucking
It was loose back in the day. Anyways,
yeah,
one year, they advertised Big Brother's first ever millionaire.
yeah, okay,
And it was a crock of shit. All it was is he had $1 million in assets with properties.
okay, yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's bizarre. You know what we've noticed around town? Because we do a little bit of drive and just go and grab a coffee, go for a drive through the nice estates to get ideas for our renovating.
Do you take a doona with you?
No.
Dancing doonas?
No dancing dooners. We normally have the kids do.
Yeah, it's
so yeah, it's weird. But we'll drive through and we'll fucking. And what I've been noticing a lot is in the really rich areas I'd say like Brisbane's Bayside and things like that, there are a lot of builders, like carpenters, fucking plumbers, like these guys that I'd say a lot of them are boomers. So they've come up with that little bit of a helping hand from the economy. But yeah, they're fucking balling. The ones that have done it right, I think, are fucking doing well. And they're living in these fucking nice houses. I'm like, that could be me. And I reckon like,
It's good to have the dream, man.
yeah, and it's just like you cruise around. Like you should go for a drive through Redland Bay or Raby Bay, I should say. And every second house, some will have like a Merc in the driveway, but then the next one will be like fucking Fred's Plumbing, and then the next one will be like JJ fuck whatever builders, and it's cool to see. Like it's not like fucking banker all the way through these sort of lovely little estates. I don't know, it's something I've noticed.
Oh, man, I mean, people make their wealth all different ways.
Yeah.
And people also spend it different ways.
I wonder how many fucking OnlyFans people have got those houses. Some of those chicks are making like fucking $450,000 a month.
It's crazy.
My
And
God, I wish I was hot.
wish I had Damn pussy.
Yeah. Wish I had a dick worth looking at.
I wish I had one people could see.
Yeah. I wish I didn't have an any.
All right.
Oh, fuck.
All right. Next topic. So, look, specializing. Now, we've talked about this before, but we're going to revisit it. And look, specializing is not something that you need to do to have a successful business, but I think it helps you succeed. It just gives you an edge. It gives you a competitive edge over other businesses.
Yeah. Gives you a target.
It does give you a target. And I don't think you need to be a specialist, but you just, because let's face it, if you trim hedges and you trim hedges well, and then someone who is a hedge specialist, if you're both credible and capable, there's probably not that much difference. Like, to trim a really beautiful hedge is to trim a beautiful hedge. There's certainly people who do it shitter, but you can, if you're really good at that and you really enjoy doing that and you say, you know what, why not? I can say that I specialize in this.
Yeah. Like the crew from Sharp Hedges in Brisbane, like they fucking kill it, but they do.
They really do specialize.
They really do specialize in that field. They do, get the cherry pickers out and all that sort of stuff. I'd fucking pass that stuff on so quick.
Actually, that brings me to a complete sidebar, and I don't even think I can remember the name. But there's this crew on Instagram, and I think it could be called Claudia something Gardens or something. And they're just, check them out on Instagram. I don't have the actual name, but they're like, there's a couple of young dudes. It looks like they're maybe very early 20s.
Yeah.
They don't work with shirts on, which, like, I don't love any of that stuff, right?
Yeah.
In terms of, but they just look like they're having so much fun. They got a couple of chicks working for them as well.
Yeah.
And these people fucking do everything.
Really?
Like, you should check out their Instagram. They are fucking like hacking down bougainvilleas. They're shoveling dirt. They're bloody doing flower beds.
Diversify.
They just look like they are having so much fun.
Yeah.
Now, like I said, there are parts that I don't love about it. I saw someone hedging without glasses.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I think that's just a thing of, being young. And, working without a shirt on. Like, I actually have a note here. We've kind of skipped the beat with specializing, but I have a note here on a topic about presentation.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit conflicting with what I'm saying here.
Yeah.
But these young,
It's funny, like
they look like fucking go-getters.
They've actually got like a bit of a niche, like people who don't give a fuck what they roll in and what they look like. They just fucking know that they're going to get a good.
Found them straight
service.
up. They're called Macintosh Bowman Gardens.
You were fucking so far off the money. Claudia's Garden.
No,
There is one of the
so-
chicks called Claudia.
So that's the name of the Facebook page, and then immediately it has Claudia Macintosh Bowman.
Ah, okay.
So yeah, I'm thinking it's maybe her and maybe her partner,
Okay.
and like her last name might be Macintosh. It might be Bowman, and that's where the Macintosh Bowman.
Cool.
But man, they just look like they have so much fun. They look like they're killing it.
Nice.
Obviously Instagram can be misleading. Maybe
Yeah.
their business is awful, but
People probably thought I was hot when they first saw my Instagram.
but I mean, they got this clip where it's like the worst fucking rain. Like, it is just torrentially raining, and they're doing this huge garden cleanup. And I love to see these young people getting amongst it, because how easy would it be to just be like, nah, go to the pub.
Yeah. That's probably the oldest fucking thing I've ever heard you say. These young people.
Well, I mean, I'm pushing.
I hate fucking thinking about it, Ben.
I'm pushing 40 now.
Oh, fuck me.
And when you see 20-year-olds, they're half our age.
Yeah, 40's about to peg me hard.
You're older than me, motherfucker.
I know, that's what I'm saying. 40's already lubed me up and it's getting ready to penetrate.
I still fuck like a 25-year-old.
Yeah, me too.
Nah, just lies.
I jerk off like a fucking 12-year-old. all the time, anywhere I want.
Like this, eh?
Oh, fucking hell, I can't.
For anyone who's watching,
Yuck.
go back at this minute mark and watch that clip.
It's
all
around
right,
100. It's around fucking 1 hour 39.
Is that where we're at?
Yeah, we're rolling.
That's all right. I think we only got 2 more topics.
That's cool.
So, look, with the specialising, there's only a few areas that you can probably really specialise in to differentiate yourself.
Yeah.
But I think it's a great marketing tool.
Yeah. Specializing also like includes like your branding. I think like you can, when I first started out, the bearded lawnsman was the best thing I could have fucking done because it was just something that no one else had. Like,
And what's funny about it was I hated it.
yeah, you did. You were like, nah, it's no good.
I just
but
thought,
for what it was then and what it is now, it's worked out pretty good. Like it's a brand in itself now. So, and there's a few others that are, there's the bearded gardener and the fucking.
There's a couple of beards out there.
There's a few beardeds now. There's like the bearded butcher, and there's heaps. Like
I mean, if you had a look at say Greenscape Solutions, there is every variation.
Oh yeah.
Green spaces, green fucking views.
So shout out to Marky from IMO, but there's another fucking IMO in town, bruz.
Oh,
Yeah, dude.
that is a dot. No, are you sure?
100%. I took a photo. It's
Is
on
it
my
not just
phone.
one of his rigs, dude?
Nope. Completely different. It literally was at
Let's go
outside.
fucking-
Yeah.
Let's go fucking dog stomp.
Well, it's right where you punched on with Mitch. Like that's where I got the fucking
Don't bring up that shit.
the photo.
And he used his name as well.
Oh
You
yeah,
na-
sorry.
You named him.
Fucking Greg. No shit, that's another
Fucking
one I can't
BJ.
do. Fuck. Oh fuck.
Jeez.
Oh man.
All right.
Oh shit.
So after specializing, as I mentioned before, we have presentation. Now, I know what I just said about these young shirtless dudes.
Yeah.
Um,
And I know what I just said about you punching on outside one of your jobs.
yeah, and I think they're all things to look at and say, like, if you're walking into a quote and you're well presented, I think you're giving yourself a better chance.
Yeah,
Now, we got ripped on this first topic because, I mentioned work boots when someone wears sneakers. And
Yeah.
that doesn't make, if you wear sneakers, I feel just whack saying, do people say sneakers anymore?
I don't know.
I feel whack saying it. But anyway, if you wear sneakers,
For sneaking.
it doesn't mean that you're not well presented.
Yeah.
Okay? If you go in pluggers,
It's
that's which I've done.
I've
but,
done as well.
But
Have you gone barefoot?
I've never gone barefoot.
I had fucking
I've never gone barefoot.
one.
I've been barefoot like in public, like I'm that type of dude.
Yeah.
But never in a work scenario.
I passed on some jobs to someone who will remain nameless, and I got a call from one of the customers that I passed on, and they're like, "You got to fucking come back." I was like, "Oh, what happened?" They're like, "Oh, first of all, these fuckwits turned up, half mowed the wrong house." Then stopped mowing it halfway. So there's like a half mown footpath. And then they fucking rolled into my yard and one of them wasn't even wearing shoes. I'm like, pardonnez-moi. And phone calls after that. I took that job back. For
you
a
got to
while.
wear shoes, people.
Yeah, it's for your safety.
Now, going back to the shirtless thing, I had so many jobs where I'd take my shirt off.
Fuck yeah, you did.
Not
Not me.
Huh?
Not me.
But it was in a environment where I knew no one was home. And I could get away with it at that time.
Yeah.
It's no different to, like, we talk about being professional all the time, and on any given day at any given job, I'd take a piss behind someone's shed or tree.
Yeah.
And I would consider that being unprofessional. However,
You got to do what you got to do to get through.
yeah, there is that too. I think if no one sees you do it, then it's no harm.
Yeah, was it even a crime?
Like...
I saw someone got busted on camera on LMCA for
Yeah, I
pissing.
saw that too. And
And he got fucking-
and they lost the job.
Yeah.
And it's within that person's right for them to say, "No, fuck you."
Yeah, imagine if
But-
I got busted shitting in.
Don't even I don't want to go there. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
But if you're on the road doing 12, 15 jobs a day,
Yeah.
it can be a real pain
Yeah.
if you just need to take a piss.
Yeah.
And
It takes a lot of time to drive away from your fucking
I feel sorry for the
run.
women in the industry because it's obviously very difficult for them to do it.
Yeah. Unless they're carrying around a fucking shiwi in their pocket or whatever it is.
What
A
is
shiwi is it's kind of like a funnel, but it's shaped like a crotch. So they can just piss into it and it kind of gives them a spout. Oh, fuck. I'm so sorry.
the things that we. What is that? Is
This is a cricket.
is that the sound? Oh, I thought you made is that the sound that it makes when they're trying to shake it off or something?
No, this is it. But yeah, imagine being busted with one of them. It's one thing to have a dick in your hand. It's another to have an appliance. Fuck. Some things are just unfair.
All right. So when I talk about presentation, it is all aspects.
Yeah.
It's not just what you're wearing on your body. I think vehicle plays into it a little bit.
Yep.
I'm not saying you have to have the most flashiest vehicle. Even in Greenscape Solutions, like Russell's ute that he used to drive around in was a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah.
However,
Yeah.
it was equipped
Yeah.
and it was organised.
Yeah, his trailer was nice and neat and fully organised. It was
Yeah.
just the fucking vehicle. Looked like it had been
And it presents.
eaten by a transformer.
Like I've seen, you do see contractors and they've got a ute set up with, mower, whippersnipper, and there's just rubbish and shit all over it. And you do think to yourself, like it's just natural, right? You do think to yourself, like, what kind of business is this person actually running? Now, I've been there.
Yeah.
And so I'm not hating because I understand we all have to take necessary steps before we can get to certain points. But if you want to give your best, if you want to, give yourself the best chance to succeed, there are these simple rules, that are guidelines for you to look at and be like, okay, I can understand how that can be a positive.
Yeah. And it's not like, you got to start somewhere. So if you've got a fucking banged up ute with a trailer, just fucking chuck a uniform on or something. Try and balance it out. Because I guess if they're like, oh, fuck, that guy looks like he's been through the wars, and then you get out of the car and you got like a nice uniform on and shit, you don't look like you've just fucking been shot out of a cannon. People are like, oh, okay, cool. Maybe he's just started out. Maybe this is all he's got to start with. And yeah. But I've just, like I said before, like I was just in a very privileged place where I had the capital and shit like that. I mean, I had to be in a fucking car accident to do it. It fucked me up for a while. But yeah, that's why I was lucky.
But
and
realistically,
I did
you don't need to necessarily be in a great financial position or to even really have any money to just present well.
Yeah.
Like,
but I know, like, from getting the truck and having it decked out the way it is, the comments I get from that alone, like I have people, if I'm sitting having smoke, I have people come and knock on my windows and shit and be like, holy fuck, man, that's a good one. And they're not other contractors. They're just random people. Like,
yeah, I mean,
So
all
I
the
don't-
time.
Yeah.
When I had my rig and we would go fuel up,
yeah,
I always had people coming up to me and saying, geez, you look like you're ready to fucking do some work.
yeah,
And it was, all the bips were laid out. Like everything was, everyone could see that I was ready to roll.
yeah.
I don't want to act like the upsell right now and say that you don't need those things
No, well,
to have a successful business.
we all started without them. Like there was nothing.
Absolutely.
Here. Like mine was a toolbox. Like I bit the idea off of you. You had a toolbox where all your fucking things were all locked up. Like it was a good idea for the time, but times have progressed.
Well, I got as
and now
many
there's-
compliments, doing
Yeah,
it
so
that
did
way.
I.
Because I mean, mine was Russell's brother built mine.
Yeah.
And it was Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
Those fucking wine boys, eh? They can
Mad
fucking
skills.
get amongst it.
Mad skills.
Um,
Now I've got one more, and it's my very last one. I've got a sidebar after that, but my last one is don't be afraid to take risks / investments.
Calculated risks.
Calculated risks, calculated investments are what it's about. You know, a lot of people reach out to me about buying businesses because obviously I bought a bit off you. I bought a bit when I first started, and I've had polar opposite experiences. My fucking first business was an absolute flop that I bought. It was fucking trash. Worst investment I ever made, but it was a very small investment and I was just starting out. So I learned from that mistake. Different story when I bought business off you. I knew that it was established. I knew that it was solid, and it was a fucking straight away. It was a
It's probably about 30% cheaper than probably what it would have gone to
yeah,
someone else
yeah,
as well. But
yeah. And obviously that's why I fucking jumped at it. So it all kind of worked out good.
And you know what? I had the same. So I bought a business offshore, which legitimately changed my whole life.
yeah,
And back then it cost me 20K, which is going back 15 years now. So 20K was actually a lot of money back
Yeah.
then. But the business turned over like $3,000 a week.
Yeah.
And there is risks. There was risks that I took, where we did take a loss. There were some jobs that pulled out.
Yeah.
Some high profile jobs.
yeah,
But the connections that I made and the business experiences I got through that, you know, from doing $60 lawns to doing, you know, like $500 jobs in 2 hours, you know, like it really opened up my eyes to where the ceiling could be in this thing. And the ceiling is the fucking sky.
yeah. As far as you want to take it.
So, I had a really good experience. A risk that I took that paid off really badly was someone had a contract for all the kindergartens.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
So
I think I was just starting my business when you kicked that off.
yeah, and I still, so ultimately I pulled the pin. I reckon I could have still made it work, but it was when I picked up my very first big contract.
Yeah.
And at the time, I had like 4 workers, which was the most I'd ever had. And ultimately the most I would have ever have had in my time. And it was just too much for me to monitor. And I had scored this big contract, so I ditched these kindies. But the huge risk was I signed a contract and the unit price per kindy was a fixed price. And some of them were excellent. You know, you could go in there and do 10 minutes worth
Just
of
a
work at that
footpath
price.
and a blow.
Some of the other ones were a lot more, but you looked at it from a contract perspective, and it wasn't like you needed to have a Russell type worker running that situation where they could make decisions.
Yeah.
And so look, I didn't lose anything because I didn't pay any money.
Yeah.
Actually, my bad. Because I signed a contract, I wanted out.
Yeah.
So I forfeited my whole first month payment
Oh.
to walk away.
Yeah. Okay.
Which, you know what? It ended up just being wages and fuel. So it was a loss.
Yeah.
But I just always look at it as a positive
Yeah.
experience.
You had a run at it. It didn't work out, and you obviously would have learned from that.
What it taught me was to probably never sign a gardening contract ever again.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the time these contracts don't, like, you've got a contract, right?
Yeah, it's a bit different for me now. That's what I want. I want fucking contracts where they're locked in as well as me.
Yeah,
So-
but even if you look at it, like, I think, because I signed, do you sign anything over at Greenleaf?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I signed.
Yep.
I've
signed a few more since signing with that one. I've pushed 2 more to sign.
Yeah, so, but realistically, if they want out,
Yeah.
they've got leverage.
Yeah.
The signature doesn't actually mean anything, and that's, whereas,
But it gives the illusion
that's right. But the one that I signed,
that was illegal.
check
document.
this. If I couldn't fulfill that amount of work for that price, even if I walked away, I would then be liable to pay someone the agreed amount
Oh, fuck.
And I was lucky enough that I said to that dude, I said, like, seriously, bro, like, wouldn't it just be easier for me to forfeit what I've made this month? So whatever he owes me this month, don't give it to me
Yeah.
and just go and source new contractors.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be easier than like getting into this thing where you're probably going to tie up funds for like a couple of months?
Yeah.
So yeah, we worked out an amicable agreement.
Well, that's good. And it worked out in the end.
Yeah, it worked out. I still felt shitty because I quitted on something.
Yeah.
Um,
But you
and I
gotta
don't
look at
like
the
to
bigger
be
picture.
defeated.
Like, realistically, you probably saved yourself a lot of fucking headaches.
It was just Vicky.
Oh, okay.
You know, like I think we just had the twins.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like I remember the situation.
Do you think you rushed into it? Like you saw a good opportunity on the outside, but when you really delved into it, it was kind of not what you thought it was?
Maybe this is me being pig-headed, but I still thought it was a timing thing. Like I had eggs in a few different baskets and you
Yeah.
never really knew what was going to pay off. The original contract that I was chasing, the one that we landed, was 24 months in the making.
Yeah.
I missed it 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
And for 2 years, the only thing that Vicky ever heard me talking about was if I pick up this contract. Like she was fucking sick of it.
Yeah.
And in the background, you know, we had this other basket of eggs
Yeah.
that and they both came to fruition in the same month.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think it's still a smart business play because then I was able to make a choice, you know, and I was able to take the greener,
Yeah.
you know, wherever the grass was greener.
Fair enough. That's good.
Yeah.
Learning curve.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Why are we talking so quiet all of a sudden?
Because I've got something sad and a little bit disappointing to talk about.
Is it the fact that we're ending the show soon? Because I need to go get a feed.
I'm
and take
about
a
to piss underneath this table. Anyway, now I'm not going to name names here, name businesses, but something happened with the event. Now there was lots of donations came through, which was amazing. Looks like the end tally will be a little bit less than what I originally said. Now there's big businesses that came on the day and they said to the lady from the Red Kite, give me the information that I need to get our team to donate certain amounts. Mm-hmm. Now, those amounts are quite large. I've been chasing these amounts for a while now, and I'm just fucking done with it, which means that I'm also done with them, which means that they're not coming to the next ones. So it's a little bit disappointing to know that there's some big businesses out there that were willing to fucking say, hey, we're willing to give this donation, but they actually haven't come up with the cash. It's a simple thing. If you didn't want to donate, why the fuck did you say you would?
Because you would have happily had them whether they donated or not, right?
That was one of the things. Like
it wasn't a stipulation.
It wasn't a stipulation on the day. It was a give what you can give, and what you feel comfortable with. And fucking, I don't know if in the next ones that I have to put a little caveat in there. Don't fucking say you're going to do something when you're not going to do it. Now
because it's been advertised. That's the problem.
Yeah, and
it's been announced.
Yeah. So and I'm being ghosted. So if they listen, just reach out and say we're not willing to donate, so I can just fucking close it. I've got someone willing to take it to the next 1,000. So Dale from Urban Turf has said that whatever whatever the end figure is, he'll take it to the next 1,000, which is incredible. Thank you, Dave. You're Dale. You're an absolute champ, Dave. Fuck.
You fucking asshole.
That's
like calling me Glenn.
Yeah, sorry, man. Fuck. We're coming up to 2 hours. I can have some fraudulent slips. But Dale knows I love him. I'll eat his ass when I'm in Melbourne next just to make up for it. But no, realistically, that was the only downside to that whole event situation. Everything else has gone off without a hitch. Logos created, websites created. I got a new email, and lots of people have still been reaching out to me, and I've been keeping in communication with a lot of people to make sure these fucking events go off without a hitch. They're good, very cool people involved. I can finally announce Rob Shearer is going to be involved. He is no longer with Skag. He has been.
It turns out he signed with Ferris. Vicious
no,
rumor,
mate,
bro.
he's fucking signed with PGA Tour. He's around fucking golfing. He's actually coming up to the coast. I think next week or the week after. So we're gonna have dinner. But yeah, he's involved. There's a couple other people around the countryside that are going to be involved. I don't know how much they want me to talk about it, but yeah, it's going to be a fucking sick time. So stay tuned. Don't pledge money if you're not going to pay it.
And we'll be able to, of course, keep everyone up to date through that whole process.
Fuck yeah.
So I hope everyone enjoyed today's episode. Our analytics were fucking way down.
Yeah,
last
maybe
week.
we should run an ad for this episode.
Maybe.
Fucking 2 hours, may as well run
Well,
a
maybe-
2-minute fucking ad.
Maybe people should just fucking listen to it.
Yeah, just fucking listen
I
and
mean,
share
I
us.
understand that they can't listen if there's nothing to listen to.
That's it. Yeah, true that.
I'm realistic.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
tell
share
your
us
friends
around.
about it, eh?
Yeah,
dogs?
tell your friends. Fuck.
5 fucking cats, bro.
Yeah,
Wait.
fucking hell.
All right. Until then, I am at Catch Bro. He's at TBL, and we are getting back to work.
Peace.